I'm Linus Wilson. We are talking about The Witcher on Netflix, Henry Cavill's comments to Men's Health, talking about The Lord of the Rings getting a second season, and Vikings having a sequel on Netflix. 24 episodes ordered. Lots of news in medieval fantasy TV. First is The Witcher's coming out on December 20th, and they have removed the embargo on press, and we're getting a flood of that. And one of that is the Men's Health cover by Geralt of Rivia, aka Henry Cavill, about his massive biceps and workout training program. So he's getting bigger for The Witcher than he ever was for Superman. And he talked about his love of the Superman franchise and how much he would like to do more Superman movies. He's done 3 already. I've not seen any of them. I'm not a big Superman fan. I haven't watched a Superman movie since, what was it, Christopher Reeves? But I think, Cavill probably a pretty good Superman. Problem is, Superman's just kind of boring. He's just kind of a boring comic book character. I'm, uh, it's just kind of not my thing. But I don't think the Superman franchise among the comic book characters is that strong. And the fact that he's done 3 movies is kind of very impressive. I know that Warner Brothers is not saying that they're going to stick with Cavill, and they are also not talking about a future movie project. But, more power to him if he wants to keep on doing Superman. If Arnold Schwarzenegger can, do Terminator movies in his 70s or whatever, then I don't see why Cavill, who's a fit young guy, can't do another Superman. He seems like a pretty good actor. But I don't know if there's an audience for another Superman movie, regardless of who the actor is. At least not a lot of them. I mean, it's not a franchise. I think you can do a movie every 2 years, but maybe every 5 years. He also said that he was a runner-up to Daniel Craig for 007. I think he would make a good 007. I just don't know if the Witcher star, I don't know if they're going to even go for a man for 007 for the next 007 movie. I think that's a much stronger franchise than Superman, and we haven't had a James Bond movie in a long time. So, Lord of the Rings. So I think the broader context is that we've got a lot of news is because everybody's freaking out about Disney Plus. All these streaming services are freaking out, so they want to say, hey, we got a lot of good stuff. Stay with our platform. One of those platforms is Amazon Prime. I'm going to stay with Amazon Prime because I want my packages fast. Anyways, but I haven't watched a program on there in a while. So the Lord of the Rings Season 2 got renewed by Amazon. Even though they've not filmed Season 1, they've not even filmed a pilot. I don't think they have a cast. There's some great Deadline reporting by Nelly Andriva. Amazon paid $250 million to the Tolkien estate to get the rights to Silmarillion, Tolkien's worst book. His worst book about Middle-earth. And that's my opinion, of course. I like The Hobbit. I like the Lord of the Rings books, and I've read them all. But I have tried to read the Silmarillion. I can't. But I'm working on it. I will eventually get it read. They're going to be in the Second Age, and we're going to get to find out about Sauron and the Rings of Power in this series, which has they have this video of all these impressive people with impressive resumes as producers and writers and directors, but costume people, but I don't know that they have a cast. They say they're gonna film it in New Zealand, and they're gonna film like season 1 and 2 at the same time, and it's kind of seasonal. That they want to do it during summertime in New Zealand, not during winter time. So I guess that kind of makes sense that they want to film season 1 and season 2, but they've not written season 2. So, for instance, The Witcher on December 13th announced that they're going to do a season 2. They're going to film it on December 20 or after their December 20th, 2019 premiere, probably in the first quarter of 2020, maybe as early as January. They'll start filming season 2. Now, Lauren Hisrich, the showrunner for The Witcher, has been hinting at and straight out saying on her Twitter feed that she's been writing the episodes for season 2 for months. So it you know that says to me they've got The Witcher has like the locations, they got the cast, they got the scripts, and then when they had all that, they announced season 2, even though they'd not premiered until 2 months later, right? Or a little over a month later. But, which is not premiered yet, we're going to cover it on this channel. We're going to cover all the episodes. We also have plot spoilers for all the first 5 episodes. We're going to have episode 6 coming out, spoilers for that, and plot spoilers and leaks for 7 and 8 before the December 20th premiere on this channel. So stay here. But anyways, my point is that The Witcher is just a lot farther along, and that their announcement of the season 2, I think, is much more substantial. Whereas with the announcement via Deadline, but it was officially confirmed, uh, is more like we're gonna have the writers try to write some episodes for season 2, which is something that The Witcher was already doing, and they never made an announcement. So I don't know. I'm still. I think the I don't know the full details of the contract that they signed with the Tolkien estate, but they're on a deadline, and they've been kind of not moving super fast to get this season 1 of Lord of the Rings out. And I'm wondering if they're going to miss the deadline, even though they announced season 2, and they're paying all these wonderful behind the scenes people. Okay, the third thing I want to talk about is December 4th, we have the premiere on history of Vikings season 6. So Vikings season 5 was not my favorite. After season 4, we lost fan favorite protagonist of the show, Ragnar Lothbrok, that character for Ragnar Lothbrok. And now we've kind of had the sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. I think, Ivar the Boneless, who features prominently in the trailer, is the most interesting character of the bunch. I'm not sure that Ubbe and Bjorn Ironside's character can carry the show. And they're going to have Ubbe trying to look for Floki, who had a kind of boring storyline in season 5, but Floki's turned up missing. And but anyways, they're going to have a 20 episode season 6 to wrap up, and that'll be the final season. And Deadline is reporting as of November 19th that the sequel to the Vikings on history has been picked up by Netflix, and Netflix ordered 24 episodes from the creators of Vikings on history. So Vikings is going to move to Netflix, and it sounds pretty good. I'm happy. I'm interested in this. I'd like to see. They're going to cover about 100 years after the events of the Vikings on history. The Vikings Valhalla is going to feature historical figures: Leif Erikson, Freydis Harold Harda and the Norman king William the Conqueror, who is of Viking descent, according to Nellie Andriva of Deadline, who broke both these Lord of the Rings and Viking stories. So a lot of good stuff coming up, a lot of announcements of upcoming medieval fantasy shows. Subscribe here. Linus Wilson channel is the place for medieval fantasy shows such as The Witcher. We also cover The Witcher games. And see you next time.